sports, anime,
media entertainment.
And the whole world, look around you. Look at this. We created this.
Welcome back to the same convo with your same host, Kenny, Carlil, and Bomba. Feel me? Today I got the sports segment. Let's go. And I want to start off with the fight this past weekend, UFC welterweight championship fight between Jonathan Edwards versus Usman. Before we dive deep into it, I just want to know, going into the fight, who y'all think was going to win? Y'all think Jonathan Edwards or Usman was going to win?
Now, who do you think we thought was gonna win?
You just can't say it. You just can't say it for me right now.
Everybody and their mama thought Usman was gonna win.
Nah, for sure. If you were actually watching the fight, that man Usman won every single round.
I was about to say, bro, like let me give you the stats real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just the amount of strikes.
Facts.
From Edwards. He threw 85 strikes, hit 64 times. Mm-hmm. And guess how many times Usman was trying to beat this nigga? 247 times.
That's the total?
That's the total. He landed 189 of them.
Good God.
Do you see the difference here? Like,
that's what I'm saying. You know how stressful of a job it got to be to keep track of hits, bro. But you know how stressful that is. But yeah, like I was saying, Edwards, I'm not even gonna lie, he was definitely impressive during the fight. You know, he showed some impressive feats. Like, that was the first fight that Usman actually got taken down, and that was like in I want to say the second round. It was either the second or third round where he got taken down by Edwards. So he showed some, impressiveness. But we all know what it came down to, that fifth round. Edwards got that. It was nice too. He hit him with that left. And then hit it with the left kick, bro. You know how difficult that is to kick and punch from the same side? Just landed on his neck.
I don't want to talk about it.
So my first question for y'all, were y'all surprised? What was y'all's reaction when y'all saw that?
I mean, just for me, my perspective, I didn't even watch the game. I didn't watch it live. I didn't watch the fight live. But I'm waking up to it. I hop on ESPN. First thing you see is this man just looking up in the sky. I'm like, what the hell happened? And then I get on Twitter, and here goes Edwards talking to his mom, like crying on Twitter. I'm like, I gotta go back and see the highlights. And like, I understand, like we said, like Kamaru Usman was like dominating that fight most of it. And I feel like at the end you got knocked out. And that's I feel like that's the little bit of the luxury of like boxing and fighting games. It's like you could be beating this man for like 9 rounds where he's like leaning, but he could get one shot in and take it home.
Facts.
And he did, so you gotta give it to him.
Facts. Jimmy?
I have no words, bro. 189. And Usman doesn't punch lightly. That man is one of the hardest strikers in the UFC, bro.
He be fighting 2 people at a time.
This man was beating this man so bad at one point. This man's, before he got knocked out, dude's corner was like, you gotta get out. They had to give him like a pep talk, bro.
Facts. Bro, I was paying attention to the betting. There was one dude who bet like $60,000 on Jonathan Edwards, and they got a huge payout.
I bet.
A huge
payout. I thought you were going to say he bet on Usman.
Oh, no. I know a lot of people bet on Usman and lost a lot of money.
When they went like through the crowd and they showed him on camera, I'm like, that's a lot of lost money I'm looking at right now.
A lot of lost money. But that one person, I think he got like over like $250,000 in his payout, bro. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to think about. So, as far as that loss for Usman, that's his first career loss, right?
Yep.
His first career loss. And I don't pay attention to UFC that much, but like when I watched that fight, I was like, third, fourth round, I was like, yeah, y'all could just throw in the towel right now. You feel me? But then the kick, it was like 56 seconds left in the fifth round. It's crazy.
So y'all think this is like the end of a dynasty? Because he's been fighting in the UFC for a while now. And every UFC fighter, when they start getting older, that's when they start losing.
I don't think it's the end of a dynasty because, again, like I said, I just think you know, where when people say right time, right place, that was just the right kick at the right moment. You feel me? Like I don't think. I think other than that, he was dominating that whole fight. Like you know, we're used to. I just you know like.
So you say Usman wins the rematch.
You said what?
You think Usman wins the rematch?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, for sure.
You're betting on him.
For
No,
sure.
because generally he was beating this man down. If you're being honest, it's just that like we said, like it just had some like the right moment happened and this man seized it. So if you took like certain moments, certain key, you can take a lot of key moments away from Usman, and he still dominated that fight. But if you take this one moment from like Edwards, it's just like you're gonna have to look very hard to see him like
he was getting
have
your
him
ass
over, you know.
Man.
And also too, when you're rampaging on people too, it's easy to get knocked because I feel like at some point if you're winning, like we said, they made it to the 5th round. Like this man was dominated, so at some point maybe your guards just went down a little bit, and then you got
miracles happen. It was that moment for me. It was like the same moment when Undertaker lost his streak at WrestleMania. The same type of shock. You feel me? But Kenny, you actually asked my question for me. That was going to be the last question for this. But do we see? I'm pretty sure we all see Usman winning that rematch.
I hope so.
Unless there's another
because
level.
I want to say whoever would be rooting for, they usually don't do well. But with Usman, the difference between this and like somebody like a fight like Wilder, this man got everything that he needs to have. He got technique. He got like he's ferocious, and we know that he's like that. So it's just like we saw this match too. He was beating this man. So like I have no reason to root against him.
Facts. All right, moving on to the NBA. Got some big news. You know, the summer been talking about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving trade requests, this and that, whoop-de-whoop all summer. But about over, I think almost a month ago or a little over a month ago, Kyrie opted back into his contract. And then we just got news that Kevin Durant rescinded his trade request after a meeting with Steve Nash and the GM. And so with that, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, all with the Nets next year. What does this mean for the Brooklyn team, y'all? Y'all think they'll do better than having to compete for the play-in and then getting bumped out the first round? Y'all see them being better as a team? They definitely unstoppable on 2K, huh, Kenny? Bitch.
I appreciate your $5.
Shut up. So, yeah. What do y'all think? I personally think, like, I see them as like a 3 or 4 seed with a possible chance to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Whether they get there is up to them because they still got to go through 76ers, Bucks, Celtics, good Miami Heat team. Like, you know, just they had Kevin Durant and Kyrie last year, and it's not like they weren't. Like Kyrie was still, he had just finally adjusted to playing full time. Kevin Durant wasn't off injury or nothing like that. So they were pretty healthy going into getting swept by the Boston Celtics. But with the addition of Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons has been saying that he's been ready to go, everything like that, I feel like I feel like that's a safe pick. 3rd, 4th seed.
In the East, what about the Bulls?
3rd, 4th seed over the Bulls. Both of them. They'll be all right, I guess. Hopefully better than next year for them.
Yes, Kenny, I feel like this is, don't forget that they have the top 5 most athletic point guard of all time. A difference maker. A passer. A finisher. Overall, the team is better. So, yeah, I see the Nets being at, not far from Carlo, I would say, like, probably 9th seed to 8th. The East is really good. The East is going to be really good next year. I'm excited, but I don't see the Nets making it very far.
All I'm saying is we saw KD get completely rattled by Jason Tatum. And I haven't seen any clips of KD in the gym, you know, working on his game after that. KD, to me, has played the same his whole career. I don't think there's ever been a clip of KD, like, trying to improve anywhere, honestly. So I expect the same thing from him next season. And he's just getting another season older. So he's a factor, but I don't think he's the same KD that we're holding him to. You know what I'm saying? He's still good. Don't get me wrong. He's still a superstar. Don't get me wrong. But just like LeBron has taken declines in some aspects, KD is also taking some declines in some aspects. Because, for example, when the last time you seen KD drive the ball and try to dunk on somebody? It's been a while. KD's been just mainly jump shots, and maybe he'll get an open dunk. But when's the last time you have truly seen KD try to dunk on somebody?
I mean, that's just. I understand your point, but you're making it seem like he needs to do that to be a dominant.
I'm not saying he needs to do that. All I'm doing is just pointing out aspects where he's declining because of his age.
I mean, I didn't see him doing that. Like, that wasn't like a main part. Like, if you're saying like LeBron or something like that, then that could be a conversation. But as far as KD, like, I don't think that's ever been like a main like thing that we saw him do, even in his early years, even in his Golden State years, just able to go to the rim as dominant as he wants to and dunk on people. Like, it's happened, but it wasn't like a constant thing. And I know like it's probably happened a couple times this year with the Nets, probably not as constant as back in the day. But again, like, it wasn't like a number one, number two, number three thing that I saw him doing on the court, you feel me?
My point is, you got Ben Simmons, who's openly admitted or cried that he gets too much criticism about improving his game. He's clearly shown he doesn't want to improve and doesn't want to learn how to shoot.
But Ben Simmons been in the gym, though. Like, everybody don't record, but he's been in the gym. There's been reports of him
based off of his own statements.
He told, and based off his statement, he just told Stephen A. earlier this week, he's ready. He's focused. He's in the best shape that he's ever been in.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Look, I take athletes at their word. I just think why I say 3 or 4 is because without Ben Simmons last year and without a third contributing superstar, they got swept by the Celtics. But a lot of defensive issues with that team gets fixed with Ben Simmons. Don't forget, just a year ago, Ben Simmons was top 2, and a lot of people thought he should have been Defensive Player of the Year, but Rudy Gobert won it 3 for the 3rd year in a row. I feel like that fixes a lot of your defensive issues because if KD can't guard JT, Ben Simmons definitely will give him that work. Give him that work. You feel me? So, I don't know. And as far as facilitating, too, like, they shown after James Harden left that they really didn't need, but they still kind of like they need that type of facilitator, though. Like, Kyrie is always going to be ball heavy, but Ben Simmons is going to be there whenever Kyrie's out and to feed Kyrie, because even though Kyrie does need the ball a lot, he's still effective when he's facilitated for. Like, that Ben Simmons style of play has been compared to a LeBron James. And so I can see that kind of being a thing to where, kind of how Kyrie and LeBron were, where LeBron was the facilitator and Kyrie was still able to be a huge effect without the ball in his hand. So I see Ben Simmons being that for Kyrie and KD, because KD is also, he can facilitate. He's proven that he can, not consistently, but with Ben Simmons, he doesn't need to now.
I'm going, so we got Bucks, Sixers. Oh, do I put the Heat over them? No, I'm not putting the Heat over them. Not happening. Bucks, Celtics, Bulls.
That's a fan vote, bro. That's a fan vote.
I'll put them at the 5th seed.
That's fair. That's fair considering they got swept. That's fair.
Let me ask first. Let me ask this to Kenny first before I make my point. You remember last year during one of the, I feel like, I would just say, I can't remember what series they were playing in, who they were playing, but we expected Ben Simmons to be back. And he sat in front of the media and said, with the type of IQ I have, I know that, we can make it through the playoffs because when I'm on the floor with Kevin Durant and Kyrie and the type of IQ he has, he can just pick off of it. So he told us basically, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? And not only am I ready, I'm about to change the game. Now, that never happened, did it?
No, it didn't, Bumble.
Why? Because he refused to suit up.
Mental health is not a joke.
Mental health is not a joke, but if you're telling me that it's your back that's hurting, is it your mental health that I need to worry about? Or is it something else? Okay. Now, with the
Wait. Before we move on from that, why was his mental health hurting, Carlil? Everybody's making fun of me.
That you
I'm
don't.
scared of Trae Young.
That was assumed. That was assumed. Do you feel me? Like there could be other things going on in his life that doesn't relative to basketball that affects your mental. Don't do that. Don't do that.
They keep calling me soft.
See, Kenny. If y'all didn't know, Kenny was a bully in school. That's why. Kenny was a bully.
all right. So to answer to your point, KD is KD. KD is still going to give you what he's going to give you. You know, KD is going to do him regardless of what happens. So will Kyrie. Now, you had KD, you had Kyrie. So in terms of like the offensive firepower that you needed, it was present last year. The issue that you had was defensive. And now the person that you're counting on to change, because really you don't have a problem during the regular season because you're made it for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a playoff run that you need to make and, you know, have somebody that can help you fix certain issues. With Ben Simmons, somebody that, like you said, had mental issues. The mental issues stem from his playoff performance, people finding ways to exploit his weaknesses. And they got to a certain point where this man started breaking down mid-game. Now, when he broke down mid-game, not only did his offense not matter anymore, but his defensive presence wasn't there anymore. Because Ben was out of the game. He clocked out of the game. So that's one thing I'm considering into the mix. Another thing I'm considering into the mix, we just went through a very, very weird offseason for the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie asked to be out. KD asked to be out following that. And then on top of that, criticisms came out from I don't remember if it was just KD and Kyrie, but one of them for sure was criticizing Steve Nash.
Yeah, both. What's the name? I know both said Kyrie said something about Steve Nash, but I know KD said that one of the things he said that he didn't want to come back to Brooklyn if Steve Nash was there. Yeah.
Yes. Now you end up after that happens, KD comes back out. Oh no, Kyrie comes back out and says, I'm gonna stay. But KD insists, like, yo, get me out of here. You know what I'm saying? Now Josiah sat down and is like, this shit is not happening. And we're like, oh, expecting that it's gonna be okay. But what happens when you hit the first bump? Like it has not been solid when things were supposedly going the way that you wanted. So what will make me feel like y'all gonna stay united, y'all gonna stay the way y'all supposed to be when we started getting back to those bumps, when Ben Simmons started getting criticism, when Kyrie all of a sudden cannot just stop playing because you made a commitment. When because KD was not playing the whole season anymore.
Right.
So it's a lot that you got to look for. And then you look at the rest of the league, the teams that were good last year, if they didn't get better, they're at the same level they were at. And those teams, not only can they give you so much offensively, they can give you a lot defensively because a lot of these teams nowadays like went and built like around like smaller core. Now they have like, you know, players that can come off the bench. They have role players that can play, that can contribute offensively and defensively. Nets is lacking on that heavily. That was supposed to be their bonus last year because they got a bunch of superstars, but all the superstars.
They still got Andre Drummond. Don't know that.
Okay.
No, I was asking.
He wants out.
Andre Drummond wants out?
He wants out. I think he's a free agent. He clearly stated that he wasn't coming back.
Andre Drummond, the best player on our team, mainly Carlil.
Shut up, Kenny, bro.
So yeah, I really don't have high hopes for them. Even the Bulls, they just seem I trust them more in terms of being a team. No, because at the end of the day, who do you have on the Bulls? You have DeMar DeRozan. They had a solid push last year.
A solid
push. No, I understand. And it's a young team that you're talking about. It's a young team they're talking about.
And our injured players are coming back.
Yeah, like
it's the Carew show.
We gonna see. We gonna see for sure. We gonna see. But I understand your point, Bob. I think that is a good point. Those are good things to look at. But I want to take too much time on that. We'll definitely see what's gonna happen. But let's get into it. College football season start Saturday, boy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if
y'all can tell I'm a Michigan fan.
Shut up, Mamba. I don't need your trolling today. So I don't know if y'all saw, but the AP poll came out with the top 10 teams going into this season, and then the coaches poll also came out. So I'm gonna go through each poll one by one, and we're gonna name all top 10 teams. So number one on the top 10 AP and in the top 10 coaches poll is Alabama. Number two for both polls is Ohio State. Number three for both polls is Georgia. Number four for both polls is Clemson. Number five for both polls is Notre Dame. Number six in the AP is Texas A&M. And number six in the coaches poll is Michigan. Number seven in the AP poll is Utah. Number seven in the coaches poll is Texas A&M. Number eight in the AP poll is Michigan. And number 8 in the coaches poll is Utah. Number 9 in both polls is Oklahoma. And number 10 in both polls is Baylor. So one thing that we do see in both polls, they all agree on the top 10. Like, these teams should be in the top 10. There's just a few that are in different places. Mm-hmm. And so my start off question for y'all, because I know y'all do like college football, but I'm not sure if either of y'all have like a set team that y'all been rocking with for years and years on end. But for y'all, which team y'all rocking with this year? Y'all already know me. Go blue all day, every day. Michigan Wolverines, we taking it this year. Who y'all rocking with? Who y'all rocking with?
I just want to say this. Carl was like a Cowboys fan when it comes to like college football. Toxic. Huh?
That's a very toxic fan base.
Yeah.
If y'all don't, if y'all
every year, but where are they?
I'm not hearing no criticism for people that haven't had teams for life. So I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I compared you to a Cowboys fan.
I can't compare you to no fan. So again, who you rocking with this year?
You can't bet against.
It won't be the same as who you was rocking with last year or the year before that. So who are you rocking with?
You can't bet against Bama.
Here we go. Bandwagon.
I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for years now.
You ain't been saying shit for years, dog.
So who's been my team, Carlos, since you know?
Yeah, I don't know because you switch off every year.
So who did I say last year?
Clemson.
No, I did not.
And then the year before that, you said Notre Dame. And then
this man is a liar.
This man was a UK fan for a little bit.
Put that on your mother right now.
Yeah, but okay. So Kenny's rocking with Bama. Who's rocking with this year?
Because the only reason, let me explain this first. The only reason I watch college football is to get a little bit of satisfaction out of it. Now, my satisfaction is not seeing the team win because I don't really care about college football like that. But now seeing Michigan getting the breaks beaten out of them is something I enjoy quite a lot. So I'm gonna go with Michigan State again.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Even though y'all niggas gonna lose this year.
Wait, y'all still got Harbaugh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's over for y'all.
How?
They've been trying to get that man fired for years now.
No, they were trying to get him fired if he didn't beat. He was going to. His job would have been up for question this year if he didn't beat Ohio State last year.
That clear. He had an ultimatum: either be Ohio State or you're fired. That sounds like
that hasn't been for years. That was literally his clause last year.
That's crazy. That's a crazy clause.
That's a crazy
clause.
Crazy clause for sure. But any team if you paid attention to college football for years, that's Michigan. Like, that's bigger than them even getting to college football playoff. They could have a terrible season, but number one is always beat Ohio State no matter what. Michigan State is a close second.
But to put that boy's job on the line for it, that's crazy.
It is crazy, but the team came through. I ain't gonna lie, and he's been the most winningest coach that we've had since I think early 2000s. So, but going into that, so we got Bama, Michigan State, and of course Michigan. From what y'all seen during the off season since last year, and from what y'all seen throughout the summer, getting ready for opening day on Saturday, which team do you think is going to have the best season out of everybody on that top 10? I'm going based on AP poll because that's the official poll that gets posted. So I think I'm going to say, as far as the best season, and the best season I'm talking about, of course, the best record leading into the college football playoff, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Ohio State. I think I've looked at Ohio State's schedule, and I think they're only going to lose one game, and that'd be versus Michigan.
You know what's crazy? I'll be watching like criminal shows about when niggas lie, and I see your face. You did everything they listed, but
you feel me? I definitely did. Like, you already know who I think is going to have the best season, dog. We going undefeated. Have you seen Michigan's schedule? Cake, 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 cake. Michigan State, cake, cake, cake. Ohio State, cake. It's undefeated, dog. I don't know why y'all looking at that, because Ohio State had a pretty good team last year. Was top 10 the whole year. Was pretty sure they were number 2 when we beat them. 42-27. Foot in their ass.
I mean, he had to.
Foot in their. That's what I'm saying. Hey, it wasn't even like
that man begged them. He said,
it was
please.
Foot in their ass.
I got a wife and kids.
It was foot in their ass. He put their foot in their ass.
I gotta put food on the table.
He would have just went back to the NFL. His offer was already on the table.
But let me make my pick real quick. I feel like if it's not Alabama, it's simply Georgia.
Okay.
Dogs.
Okay.
I gotta go Bama. You can't bet against Bama. They are the most winningest team in the past 10 years. At this point, you can't bet against them.
That was right there.
You can't argue with numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
And Nick Saban just got that bread too. Stop playing with him.
You said what?
He just got an extension. He's the most paid coach, like in I mean, of course he is.
I mean, of course he is. Have you seen that fucking program, dog? Like, hold on. I'm looking for something real quick because Kenny said you can't bet against Bama.
I mean, they lost against who was that? Georgia.
I bet you said you couldn't bet against them last year, huh?
Tua got hurt. It's all right.
Oh yeah, a lot of your players got hurt.
Tua was in the NFL.
No, but a lot of Bama players got hurt.
They lost against what's his name? When they lost to a second year.
But that wasn't to Georgia though.
I can't remember. I can't remember the team that they lost.
I think it was Ohio or like.
No, it wasn't Ohio.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Tua was hurt. Jalen Hurts got in and couldn't do nothing.
All I'm saying, there's obviously been points for the majority. Yes, you can bet against them, but there's been points that you can bet against Bama. All I'm saying
against Michigan.
What'd you say? All I'm saying is Michigan undefeated season. But all right, so last question, top 10. I need y'all to pick 4 teams that y'all expect to see in the college football playoff. I won't do college football playoff predictions because the season hasn't even started yet. We can do that mid-season. But which 4 teams out of this top 10 do you expect to see in college football playoff? I'm going to go first. I'm going to do Notre Dame, Clemson, Michigan, and Alabama.
Dang, no Georgia love? That's crazy.
Nah, I think they're going to fold.
I got Bama, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Ohio State. I said 5.
Oklahoma? They better. Hey, I mean, they still top 10, but they rank number 9 in both polls. So
I think they're gonna be the big upset team.
They have got some nice pickup. They got some nice defensive pickups. So I think I don't think they're going to finish at 9. I think Oklahoma's going to finish at like 5 or 6. But that's okay. But you said Bama, Oklahoma,
Georgia, Ohio State, and who did Notre Dame get that you put them in there?
You said they're on number 5.
I'll go Notre Dame.
You just picked 5 teams, dog.
I thought you said 5.
No, 4. The college football playoff.
Why is that Kenny always think you said 5?
That's what I'm saying. But you said Bama, Oklahoma, Georgia, and Ohio State.
Yes, sir.
All right. We're gonna keep that for a record later on. See who's was right when it gets to that point. Bamba, 4 teams.
So
Bama, whatever he writing on.
Bama, Georgia,
Uh-huh.
Clemson.
Uh-huh.
And you already know who number 4 is.
Ohio State. Or stop trolling, bro. Bama, Georgia, Clemson, and who? Bama, Georgia, Clemson, and who?
Michigan State.
Ohio State, nigga.
That's crazy that y'all are putting Ohio State.
This man is from Columbus.
Okay.
Oh wow, you're right.
That
Last
is
time he
so
was playing at
crazy.
home.
Okay. Y'all know this story. I was born in Columbus. My mom was a Michigan fan because she spent some time in Detroit. She spent a lot of her life in Detroit.
Be your own man.
We are Michigan, and she also claims Bama because she was born there.
So
But what about where you were born? How about that? What about where you were born?
My mother decided my team when I was in the womb. I'm sorry. That's actually a quote that I have on an actual news article. Go check me out. But all right, y'all. This is the end of the sports segment. We're gonna go ahead and pass it on to Kenny for anime. We'll see y'all back in a minute. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, download us, all that.
All of that shit.
Send it to your friends.
To your moms.
Bitch.